Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Chassidus in the morning. 15 minutes to change our lives. Kuntres, start by Tzedakah. Good Tzedakah, and we're gonna daven for a Refuah sheleima for Tinok ben Rina Shulamis Ahuva. And Hashem should only hear good news. Should be 100%, and everything that it needs should get in an easy way. Also for all the yidden Eretz Yisrael, for the soldiers, and specifically the hostages, they should be home already. And for Yiftach ben Shoshana, that Yiftach and Shoshana, amongst all hostages, should be healthy and safe. Should come back very soon. Okay, we're gonna start. We're gonna finish up Perek Gimel and start Perek Daled, and that would be the last Perek in Mayim Chavav Hey, and then we'll go to Chavav, and then we only have Chavav, Chav Zayin, Chav Ches. So we're gonna finish it Mitzvah Hashem for Pesach. Okay, let's begin. This is like Avodah Zarah when a person does, when they think that the boss is the Parnasa, which is very much connected to what Rambam's talking about these days in Shresh Parakim and Sefer HaMitzvahs about Avodah Zarah. What's the mistake of Avodah Zarah? Is that they thought that the sun was given koyach from Hashem, and Hashem wanted them to praise the sun as well. Recognize the sun as the shliach and praise the shliach. And then, as the generation went on, people started praising the shliach but forgetting about the Eibishter, forgetting about Hashem. And that's sort of Avodah Zarah, forgetting about Hashem's in charge. This is the person bound down to the sun and the moon. Because we're thinking that that's the ikar. That's the mistake. We think that they're the shliach, that they're the ones actually doing it, but really just the shliach. So we think our boss is the one that's giving us the money. We think the customer, we think this good deal that we made, that person is going to give me the money, that's where my money is coming from. But that's just a mistake. They're just a shliach. Levad, they're just the garments. Questions, but I'll explain before. When we think that the work, the business, whatever source of livelihood that we do is the main thing, because of that, we're busy with all our work and we can't think and daven properly. When Shabbos comes, we don't have a chance to really immerse ourselves in the Kedusha of Shabbos. This and these confusing thoughts are the same idea of bowing down to like idols, worship. The just like physically when you bow down, you put your head down. So too, when you put your head, meaning your intellect down, and your head, you put your head down in the sand and you just totally submerged. Until it stops being able to think, your head's down, you can't even look up and see what's really going on. This is spiritual bowing down. This is literally like Avodah Zarah. It's like, the way to understand this a little bit is like the mailman bringing you your package. It wouldn't make any sense to say thank you for my package in the sense of, and you wouldn't think to yourself, you wouldn't make that mistake to think that he's the one that actually made your package. He's the one that you talked to over the phone and whatever, the whole process that you took, he wasn't the person that did it. They're just the messenger. Someone's giving you a letter for a check from a donor. You have a donor that gives you a check for $1 million and the person's coming to deliver the check. Like the mailman, you wouldn't say to the mailman didn't give you the $1 million. It's just the messenger for the check, $1 million. But that one looks very obvious to us. But this is the reality of life that doesn't look so obvious to us. Our boss, our customer, whatever, the person that's giving us the money is just the shliach. Doesn't mean we shouldn't be respectful, but We have to recognize that the truth of the matter is it's coming from Hashem. And therefore, if it's coming from Hashem, so what does Hashem want from us? How do I say thank you to Hashem? And how do I recognize that it's from Hashem and not get confused? And that's through doing Torah mitzvahs, setting aside time, and having that clarity. Not just that, when you recognize that, so it's like the mailman's coming. Imagine the mailman's coming. We're gonna do all these things. We're gonna make a nice. We're gonna give him presents. They're bringing the checks. The mailman's bringing the checks. So we gotta make them happy. So they'll give us bigger checks. It's not like if I give the mailman a tip, I'm gonna get a bigger check next time. It's just the mailman. They don't have control over that check. Now we might fool ourselves into thinking that, but the reality is it's not. And they're just the mailman, and that's what we have to realize. Doesn't mean it shouldn't be respectful. For the mailman can come rip up your check, but here in our case, it's just the mailman is just the messenger, and that's what you got to recognize. The work is just the messenger. Kitzur. Habale hasakim ubale aveda eina mispalim tefillah b'tzibur. People that are business people and people that work, and they don't daven with a minyan, b'kvius, on a regular basis. But tefillah chatufa, and the davening is cut. Umaleya machshav is full of foreign thoughts. The davening, they're in other different places. Ein mishtatzvim b'shiur limud atera barabim b'snatzlus tirdasam ba'amal parnasa. They don't give time to learn a shiur with public shiurim that are being given. They're not going to everyone's going to the shiur and they're not going. And they're totally busy and consumed with their parnasa. V'zeh geirem his gash busam, and this causes their coarseness, their physicality. Shemechalim menuchas kedusha Shabbos, and they profane the true rest of Shabbos. Binyanei hevel, in mundane things, totally busy with their work. Like, finally I can sleep on Shabbos, I can go back to work properly, and they confused everything. And really, it's all just a mistake. It's not real. It's not the way to think about it. It's not the truth. It's not the reality. That's what we said in Gimel, Dalet. Now we're going to talk about the difference between a mun of a yid and a mun of a different other religions or other people. So in Dalet, we are believers, sons of believers. Now, every Jew's faith is natural. And the simple way of seeing this is, if you ask a Jew, are you Jewish? You ever go Miftayim, and you see a person that looks Jewish, and they're trying to avoid you, you say, excuse me, are you Jewish? And you'll notice that a Jew will never say they're not Jewish. It's against their nature. Why? Because they connect to Hashem, and we cannot separate ourselves from Hashem. This is an inbuilt nature. I've heard stories. Someone didn't want to put on tefillin. They knew what was going on, and they knew what Mitzvah was, and they knew a guy is coming, going to ask them. So they asked him, are you Jewish? And he didn't say no. So they roundabout. When someone tells you, why are you asking me? That's for sure Jewish. But if you're not Jewish, person not Jewish, so they just say, I'm not Jewish. Or why do you ask? I'm not Jewish. When someone starts giving you svaras, so then you know it's very Jewish. Why? Because we by nature are believers. We're connected. So it's not a belief. It's not like something. Belief doesn't mean here, I believe with faith that I don't really know. Belief is, it's part of who I am. It's my DNA. The emunah, this is by nature of our birth. This is what makes the Jewish people different from other nations. It's on the face of the earth. What makes us very different? Even though amongst the other nations, there's people that believe in their belief system. And even those that are very, very submerged into their belief, they really, really hold strong. But this is not their nature. This is the fundamental difference. This is not a natural thing. This is only something that they acquired. Something find him. That's why, and this is why one of the funniest things, the joke goes that if you go to a shul on Yom Kippur, you go outside a shul on Yom Kippur, and people come, you say, do you believe in God? You'll get 15 different answers. Every person will give you a different answer. It's like, no, I don't know. And it's like, what do you mean? But you're in shul. Because this is called the emunah. The issues that we have is an issue, but we all believe. And Jewish people have this. It's not something additional to them. It's not like there's me and then I believe in God. There's just us. We're just connected. This is what it is. This is just the nature of a Jew. Whereas other religions and other people, other types, whatever they believe in, for them it's something additional. We see clearly it's like intellect. There's we're using the mashal of seichel. There's a sensual seichel, and then there's the seichel that's acquired through something else. There's like natural understanding, and then there's learned understanding. And this is very much the difference between an animal's intellect versus a human intellect. Meaning, like we have a natural intellect to figure out how to survive. It's not taught, that's just natural. But then there's we're taught things, how to be smart and how to think of things and how to be more efficient. Therefore, the general, essential seichel, essence of a person's seichel is an essential one. Whereas in animals, it's acquired. Meaning there's the natural intellect that we all have, and even animals have, just survival. And animals, they don't go to school to learn how to catch food, things like this. It's natural. This is part of their DNA. Whereas humans think we have the ability to expand that intellect and that knowledge. Like it says that the ox knows its owner, the chamor abus ba'alav, and the donkey, the feeding trough of its owner. So they naturally know, so to speak. It's not thought, but it's part of the essential intellect to understand these things. And then there's some ideas that they give to the animal. Hamardas, just like the mardas, the saddlecloth. That mardas, it teaches knowledge to the animal. So it's acquired, meaning put on the saddlecloth, and they learn things, how to walk better, things like this. They learn putting the yoke on the ox, that it's going to go walk. They're acquired intellects. Whereas by us, we have these things naturally. So too with emunah. But the point he's trying to give over is Jewish people have natural emunah. We have faith that don't need to be taught. A Jew naturally has faith, whereas a non-Jew, whatever religion, it's not natural. It's an additional thing. That's why the famous story that there was a shliach. He was on an army base in California somewhere, and I don't know what it was for. It was like some meeting, and he put on tefillin on one guy. And then while he was there was another guy there. He was like a 5-star general. It was a black guy, and he was talking, and the shliach and him were talking, and the guy told him, like I said, he goes, I have some Jewish roots within me. So he said to him, yeah, you have Jewish roots too. So he goes, my mother's mother was Jewish. So he said to him, really? And he's like, yeah. So they talked a little bit, and he's like, hey, you're Jewish. You're fully Jewish. And he goes, you should do something Jewish. So he's like, well, I don't know. I just found out I'm Jewish. What does it mean? What should I do? So he says, put on tefillin. So he's like, I don't want to. You have to roll up my sleeve. He's pressed uniform. So this general's wife, 5-star general's wife, said, hey, when the rabbi tells you to do something, you listen. So he's like, okay. So he did it. So he put on tefillin, and the guy started bawling his eyes out, saying Shema. Guy never said Shema. He didn't know what Shema was. He didn't know what tefillin was, and he was crying. And he was like, what just happened? This is the emunah. It's that. It's not like nothing has to be built. You don't have to like teach him. You're Jewish, you have it. And like this guy didn't know anything. Never did anything. No connection. Lived his life not knowing anything besides the fact that he has some Jewish blood in him. He puts on tefillin for the first time and it starts making him cry. Go understand it. It's very simple. We understand it because we have the emunah the yid has is intrinsic. It's not something additional. Yeah, v'cheinu b'inyan emunah. And so too with their faith. That people that aren't Jewish, their faith is something acquired. Our belief in Hashem and His Torah, He is an essential one. Clearly, Asher kol inyan v'inyan bein shehu tov v'bein shehu hafchi, and we see this clearly by every single idea, whether it's a good thing or the opposite of good. We see people say in general, especially in times of Rabbi Hashab, people just say, Baruch Hashem, thank God, things like this. Yerachem Hashem Yisbarach, Hashem should have mercy. Yachus Hashem Yisbarach, Toida, Hashem should be thankful. Hashem Yisbarach should be thankful to Hashem. Okay, to them similar ideas, but signonish in different ways. Tefillah, Sachanunim, Toida, praise, thanks, Hashem is always in Jewish people's minds. The and this is all because our munah and Hashem and His Torah and His mitzvahs are all intrinsic. They are our lives in the length of our days. We became close to all our days. Throughout this long bit of galus. But the point we're bringing out, we'll stop here, is that we all have a emunah, and it's very natural. That's the point. A lot more can be discussed about it, but that's what we're saying. Anyway, tomorrow we'll finish this maimer, and we're finishing up. Okay, everyone should have an amazing day.